Minitab Chapter 3. The counties with the experimental programs are identified in column C31. I will calculate some summary statistics using C31 for the percent of registered voters who vote. Here's my output. I see that the percent of registered voters who vote is somewhat lower in counties without the welfare reform than in counties with the welfare reform. I could investigate how other variables affect the percent of registered voters who vote. Perhaps there is a relationship with crime. I will create a scatter plot of the percent of registered voters who vote versus the crime index, and the two categories of counties will be identified. Use graph, scatter plot, with groups. Here's how I set up the scatter plot. Click on the Y variable cell and then scroll down the list of variables to select a variable. I will select the percent of registered voters who vote. Now click on the X cell and scroll down to select a variable, and I will select crime index. Now click on the categorical variables and for grouping and scroll down to select a variable, C31. Here's my output. One county has a very high crime index. I'll investigate this county. If I click on this outlier, I can identify the case, row 60, which is Mecklenburg County, and also the values of the X variable crime index, 58,023, and the Y variable percent of registered voters, 64. Notice that Mecklenburg did participate in the experimental welfare initiative. Notice this county is unusual because its crime index is very high. However, the percent of registered voters is not unusual. I can double check to see if crime index was entered incorrectly. I can also look at other variables in the data set to see if those could help me explain the high crime index for Mecklenburg.